the so-called flamethrower that is a bomb waiting to go off.
I'm also very concerned about Etienne's butane canister. My main primary weapon is this. It's a butane, I think. Are you scared about your bot maybe exploding with the butane canister? It could happen. The technical issue where my robot actually put on the servo motor inside here and it sprayed the butane gas, it ignited, and then my Bluetooth disconnected.
I can keep my distance and move around him. I think I would be fine in surviving.
If you have a blade and it goes against the butane bottle, it's probably going to explode. Alright, so this is my robot. It's called the Kraken. Spent quite a couple of hours on this thing. It's got aluminium body. It's got steel guards. Obviously the normal plastic wheels that we have. 25 kilogram servo, but depending on the leverage you get, it's a little bit less. Then my main primary weapon is this. It's a butane. I think it's 110 ml butane gas bottle that should run for at least 3 minutes. For the bot fight, I just modularly put it in here. Then I have this lighter that I just put here at the top. It slides in between screws that I put on top of here. And as the servo goes up, it presses down on the button, igniting the flame. Once that flame is ignited, I have a little pipe coming out here with some gas already coming at a low volume. That will ignite that little bit of gas, keeping on a pilot light. The idea is to go to my opponents, try to maybe wedge him in a corner, lift them up slightly, and then the rule is 30 seconds, keep them up in the air for 30 seconds, and then full blast butane. Maybe melt some of their components, maybe some wires, maybe some zip ties, I don't know what they'll use. So on the inside, I have another 11 kilogram servo, making sure I have enough force, pressing actually the butane out here. I have 4 of these little yellow motors that you can power for about 25 rand. Could you please show us the inside of the bot, please? So it's a bit messy on the inside. But I have my 11 kilogram motor. I had some problems with the normal plastic lever that it had here. It bent, so it didn't really give me enough force when I tried to apply it on the butane gas bottle as it slides in here. So what I did is I put the hinge on here, so it's metal, so it definitely sprays now. I also have my little nozzle here that I just put in there when I'm ready, and modularly put this in there. All of this is running off of my Arduino Nano. But I also have a motor driver, and then I have my Bluetooth module allowing me to control this from my cell phone. And then that's about that. Right? I'm ready for this bot, but I am a bit concerned about Leon's bot. But luckily I did design my bot to be only 7 centimeters off the ground. So his blade is about 8 centimeters off the ground. So he might nip a wheel here and there, which I am worried about. But we'll have to see how it goes. Are you scared about your bot maybe exploding with the butane canister? So it could happen. I'm not saying there's 0% chance of it not happening. I did have some issues last night where I had a technical issue where my robot actually put on the servo motor inside here and it sprayed the butane gas, it ignited, and then my Bluetooth disconnected because I was using a low voltage battery, causing it just to continually spray out flames. Other than that, if it does explode, we are in the outside area and it is in a casing, so this should be fine.
Yeah, so my name's Francois. I'm the owner of SAC here. It stands for Swiss Army Knife. So my bot may not be as impressive as the rest, but I'm sure it will outmaneuver the rest of my opponents. There's a lot of zip ties going on around here. I still need to add the batteries to keep the maximum charge that it allows, and then I would clean it up more so that it would look a lot better. So I use about 12 volts of batteries just for the motors itself, and then a few 9-volt batteries for all the other components used. So I have an Arduino Uno that is the command center of my bot here. I have a few receivers from FlySky and as well as the remote. As you can see, my weapons are a bit smaller than the rest of my opponents, but that is because time equals money and I did not have a lot of time. So it's just the reason for Swiss Army knife is because I do have two I would say primary weapons. One just to hold the opponent in place, and a different one to type of just take away bit by bit of the bot itself.
Considering that your bot, you say, is not that powerful than your opponents, what do you think your strategy is going to be during this fight?
So I would mostly be able just to get around them as fast as possible, and then just do damage to the back wheels and such stuff, just to make their bot unable to move. Yeah.
Alright, now from the two other bots, Raptor and the Quacken, who do you think, which one of those will be your biggest opponent?
That's a tricky question because as Raptor, I saw that he doesn't have a lot of movability, so that would be quite easy just to get around and stay away from him. However, I feel like the so-called flamethrower that is a bomb waiting to go off might be a bit of a challenge, but if I can keep my distance and move around him, I think I would be fine surviving, to say, this fight.
Thank you, Francois.
G'day guys, I'm Leon Clear, I'm the owner of this channel. This is my bot here, this is he's called Raptor. See by the audio, this is Raptor. The primary weapon is the saw blade here that can spin up to 3,000 to 3,500 RPMs depending on the power supply. I see my opponents that use Arduinos for their bot. I however use the Raspberry Pi 0W. I think that will give me an advantage, considering that the Raspberry Pi has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so I can control the bot with a wireless keyboard, and the control is quite smooth. I am concerned with the other bots, considering that they have 4-wheel drive. I only have 2-wheel drive and a small wheel in the front. I'm powering my motor with a 12-volt battery pack, and I also have another battery pack which is about 6 volts for the wheels, and 9 volts are attached to that just to increase the power on the wheels here. I am concerned about Etienne's bot. He has a flipper bot, so I did put in some measures against flipper bots. So as you can see, all these panels here on the side do lift up, so I'm hoping that if he tries to flip me, his flipper will go in, hopefully lift this up here. I'm also very concerned about Etienne's butane canister. I know he's covered in aluminium, so I'm a bit concerned there because this is a wood saw blade, so I'm hoping I'm gonna bend these flipper, or I'm not very concerned about France's bot, so I think I'll shred that. Because I have a blade here in front, I'm scared that I don't think I'm gonna make it through the aluminium, but I mean, if you have a blade and it goes against the butane bottle, it's probably gonna explode.
Alright, so this little red square here is going to be our arena. There's 3 starting points, and we are going to be rolling dice to determine who gets to be placed where.
Right? I think the Kraken would start over here. It's a good spot. Nice and warm, not a lot of wind. Probably a good start for that ignition. And then we can get this thing.
I would think this is the best place for the Swiss Army knife. A lot of open room to maneuver around. Nothing to push me up against, but I'm sure that's not going to be a problem. As well as it's a lot open, so the wind might disrupt the flamethrower.
Alright, I guess that leaves me with the spot over here. It's not the best in between both bots. I think it will be fine.
Ik kan dit goed though. Ja, daarin kan je in je rond. Ja, maar ik denk zeker ik denk het niet. Kijk, denk ik het niet. Nog daar een seconde. Oeh, dat is lekker man. Kijk weer. Deze kant zal je pakken. Oké. 3, 2, 1, stop. As a result of the bot fight is in third place we have the Quacken. Woo! In second place, Swiss Army Knife. Yay! And in first place, Raptor.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, the battle for my bot didn't go so well. The plastic I used as the base was a lot more fragile than first anticipated. As you can see there at the back, a piece of the plastic broke off, and as well as here in the front. However, the body that I chose actually did quite well against Raptor. If we can see, it only made a few scratches, nothing too deep. Unfortunately for the eye, front and back of it, the blade could easily get in and damage the plastic base itself. Other than that, I would like to put the batteries more in a tight position so that it wouldn't move around. For one of the batteries did fall out and got lodged under the wheel, which made it a lot more difficult to drive around and move.
Right, so my bot didn't perform as well as I would have liked. I think one of the major issues was maybe the wind today, as well as just the general unreliability of flame ignition. So maybe that's something I would look against in the future. Other than that, I think I also had some Bluetooth connectivity issues, so I will maybe invest in a better control device. My flipper actually was the thing surprisingly that did the most, or was the most effective. I did, maybe if now I can play a video or a close-up shot, I did pick him up 2 times and almost flipped him, so I think if I focused on that, I could have actually done a bit better. Alright, so as expected, my bot was pretty much indestructible. So one thing that I did see happen was that this blade here got like dislocated and moved a bit. I was considering that it was gonna fly off, but that luckily didn't happen. Yeah, so as the bot fight started, I immediately went to front show because I knew I could do the most damage there. I didn't try to attack Etienne as much. I'm actually very happy that his bot malfunctioned because this blade wouldn't have done much damage to that body. Yeah, so yeah.